It doesn't matter how many Chris's you send out. It doesn't matter how many tough guy actors you send. It doesn't matter how tough you talk about the Outback. And yes, Steve Irwin was an absolute international treasure. Do not misconstrue this. You are a nation of pussies. And this brings us to another example, and you see a shift here in the UFC. I remember when the UFC, there was a period of time where fighters were getting suspended for saying offensive things. I remember someone who's been on the show, Matt Mitrione, got in trouble for calling Fallon Fox a freak beating up women. But times have changed. So here is Dana White, and this is just one of my favorite responses. He was in Sydney, a UFC event this weekend, and boy, did he let the media of Australia in general have it. For a place that is so tough, and the people, everything on land and the water can kill you. You have the biggest p***s I've ever seen in the media in my life. I saw a story where a guy was like, I saw Dana do a podcast with the premiere and it physically made me sick. Holy f***ing shit. You guys have to have the biggest p***s of all time in the media here. Just for the record, but go ahead. What's the question?
I thought it was in response to something. It was not.
Exactly. Whereas here's the thing. At one point in time, these reporters, these journalists had the power.
Yeah.
Like, well, I didn't mean to make anyone sick. No, he was responding to two pieces in the Sydney Morning Herald. Let me read. This is the editor, Bevan Shields, said, watching our premiere chat with UFC boss Dana White made me physically sick. And there was this columnist, Peter Fitzsimmons, saying, why the hell is NSW taxpayer filing the pockets of Dana White and his appalling sport?
In quotes, sport.
They also went on to say, I could also arguably call him an enabler of hatred and vilification, given he promotes UFC fighters who express appalling views on women, gays, and violence.
And not in that order.
Not necessarily in that order. Not here. Not in the Outback. The vast majority of voters find the UFC gross and would be appalled to know their money is helping prop it up. Why the hell is the NSW taxpayer subsidizing this unacceptable, brutal sport to the tune of $16 million? Let me be clear about something. You're a penal colony of murderers and rapists. What happened to you? You used to be cool. As discussed, he keeps going back to it. It is an even more appalling sport than boxing.
Oh, okay.
He's really upset about the idea, the sport of men fighting. You know, the oldest sport that men have ever practiced.
Yes. Oh, how gay is this guy? UFC, gross.
I'm sick to my stomach.
That's probably the dick yours. Oh.
That's not a sport. This is a sport.
Frisbee golf.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Froth. Now that's a sport.
And these people used to have the power because people used to live in fear of them because they had the megaphone. They go out and they write a hit piece. Well, we've had this with us too, where you have some people who still actually, my God, believe it. They can fabricate anything and then opine on it and exaggerate. It doesn't even have to start with a kernel of truth. Appalling sport, sir? More appalling than Australia's most popular sports league, the KFC? There's a sport.
It looked like it hurt. The second kick connected.
I'm so tired. You know, you have people here in the States who are like, oh, Australians are a different breed. No. There is no, can we just be clear? Historically, there is no country tougher than the United States. Just to be clear. They weren't subservient to royalty. That's a big risk, a big gamble, leaving that empire and fighting them off with farmers and a few rifles they could cobble together and pitchforks, okay?
The only person who came close was another group of Americans.
Yes, exactly. Trying to take out the other Americans. Oh, they're really rugged there. No, you mean they have animals that can kill you? Sure. But you know what, Australia? You need to start doing your own house cleaning. The people of Australia need to change their government, need to change their culture, because I'm going to tell you, Australia, okay, and certainly New Zealand, and I know you two have a whole riff going on, but I don't care. To us, you're effectively the same. You are seen by the world as pussies. It doesn't matter how many Chris's you send out. It doesn't matter how many tough guy actors you send. It doesn't matter how tough you talk about the Outback. And yes, Steve Irwin was an absolute international treasure. Do not misconstrue this. You are a nation of pussies. That's how we see you until you start calling out these journalists. You know what needs to happen when that journalist writes that piece? There need to be more of you doing what we did here in the United States recently. Again, telling them to go fornicate themselves with a wire brush. I'm tired with anyone else trying to act like they're tough and Americans are, okay, really? Why don't you do what we've done? Just do it. You're a laughingstock. Canada? Oh, we used to think Canada, but they're brawny men. They're rugged. No.
No, we didn't.
No, they're subservient. They're subservient plebs is what they are, who suckle at the teat. Effectively, the runoff of the old monarch tit.
Ugh.
Hoping that your masters will jail you last over your speech. And here in the United States, we brought back big balls. And I know it wasn't big balls, but you get the point.
God save the Queen.
God save the Queen. I know it's different with Australia, and it's a penal colony, and they sent every single, and it's still think about that. You're a nation on an island with a bunch of criminals, and you still became a pussy really, really, really quickly as a nation compared to the United States. You can't make it work without an American Constitution and the First and Second Amendment. Hey, Australians, how's it feel to have your government mandate your guns away from you? And I get it, it's a buyback. Mandatory buyback is a ban.
Yep.
You should have fought then. All right? So I'm glad to hear Dana White do it. We're done with it. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. I'm sure there are a bunch of things that we said today you guys will trot out 10 years from now and try and get us fired from, but my name's not, so you can't really do it. We're cancel proof.
Well, not me, but
No. We're all pretty cancel proof.
Pretty safe.
I think things have
you
changed.
said nation of pussies. This is probably outdated information, but I know years ago there was the stat that like for every man was like 3 to 4 women in Australia.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still
Maybe
the case.
research can find it, but it is a nation that is, leaning towards the woman's side heavier.
That's good for them. Good for the guys.
I know it was like a thing. Like guys used to talk about it. Like, 'cause I knew Australians over in Afghanistan.
You see that thing? No one tells you that's by design. Looks like we're holding the cards, eh, Sheila?
It was like,
no, their population's pretty spot on, 49, 50.
Oh,
okay.
is it? No, all right.
Okay.
Well,
good for them.
I guess that's what happened when you're a colony of rapists. Eventually, you sort of repopulate and the numbers even out. And we really are. We're at the, you know who else is
I
canceled?
was going to admonish Josh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give me one.
Hey, sorry.
And give me one.
No, you don't get one.
Give me one.
Earn it.
No, I'm the only bullshitter here.
Give me one.
Earn it.
You guys could share.
Moon landing was fake. Dinosaurs aren't real. Give me one.
Severely admonished.
I see you're still watching. You've fallen right into my trap to continue watching. If you click this video, if you like this, there's probably more like-minded content right there. You can click or just tune in live weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Or is that just what I want you to? Is that what I want you to think?